The Supreme Court of India, in a path-breaking judgment of Rachana Gangu versus Union of India, has in fact moved the Indian liability regime associated with vaccination from a full fault-based liability to the one with no fault compensation. In fact, we need to know the story of Rachana Gangu and many more who in fact had died because of the adverse effects following immunization, which is also called as AEFI. We know very well that during the COVID period, the Indian government actively promoted the vaccination across the country with Covishield and Covaxin. In fact, of these two vaccines, Covishield is associated with a lot many adverse events following immunization. That too, the case of two youngsters who lost their life immediately after vaccination within a month because of inflammation in multiple body parts of theirs. Both of them are young and aspiring youngsters of 18 and 20 years. One of them is the Hyderabad-based Rachana Gangu's daughter by the name of 𝐾𝐨𝐰𝐧𝐥𝐨𝐚𝐝, whereas the other is Venugopalan's daughter from Coimbatore by the name of Karunya. We can observe that this was a phenomenal tragedy for the family. But the Indian government has denied them compensation, saying that there is no case of medical negligence which has caused to the death. But the international community and many developed nations across the world, they follow the principle of no fault compensation. That means that there is no need to establish that there is any medical negligence. If any government-led vaccination program leads to some adverse impacts and the death of a person, then they should get the compensation. This is in fact a path-breaking initiative, primarily because during the emergencies like COVID, what happened is without completing the full human trials, many vaccines have in fact entered into the Indian market. And these vaccines had many short-term and long-term consequences on the Indian population. And definitely the government has to be held responsible in order to pay compensation. The Supreme Court has taken a very important decision, and this will definitely increase the vaccine acceptance in Indian society and reduce the vaccine hesitancy. And it will also bring in some element of discipline on the vaccine producers in order to conduct all possible kinds of randomized trials before introducing any vaccine. So we welcome this judgment of Rachana Gangu by the Indian Supreme Court, which in fact should provide justice to the youngsters that I have spoken about. Thank you.